Alrighty, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. Want to give you a big update. Obviously, the market has been wild with this pump. Smash a like if you enjoy the content, subscribe if you're new, and check out the Discord down below. Let's get into macro, and then I'll talk about ETH, Bitcoin, kind of ETH versus Bitcoin, what's going on right now. So let's take a look right here. So the first thing, obviously, if you're going to be more of a bear here, it depends how you want to approach this. If you're going to be more of a bear here, you would talk about, very gapped RSIs. Sure, they're coming up now. You got the green dot, money flows coming up. But the gapped RSI part, so green dot, money flow coming up would be the bullish case, obviously. And that would be, oh man, that could be, you could even make an argument that this could bring you back up to, 45K. Pick your poison here. If you come into the green, new all-time highs, that'd probably be, yeah, it'd be high. Yeah, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be probably a little bit more of the bearish case, but it's interesting. And let me show you what it kind of looks like right now, especially if we really run into traffic at 30K, 30K or 31K. We'll talk about 31K as being a 31.5K to kind of be exact as being a pretty big area in just a second, but this jump up right here, you came down a bit and then you jumped up from the top there. I'm just curious what this was. So this was a 37. It was a big jump up. Wow. That was a volatile. So 20%, so less. Obviously as market cap gets larger over time, volatility gets less, but it looks similar to that area to a certain extent. And then if you did, I already mapped it out here, but if you did something of this nature right there in terms of price, it would bring you down to here. This is my estimate of where your 400 weekly moving average would end up. Let me just put that up really quick here. And that's where it would be. It's a major moving average. Your 300 moving average would be around 20K. I think that's absolutely a possibility where you could see somewhat of a double bottom as well. And yeah, those two places are big into the end of the year. S&P 500, NASDAQ are coming down, starting to come back down. They were up a lot. This could actually be the top for them for the year, potentially. If that is the case and Bitcoin follows, you would come down. So it's interesting right now. It's definitely interesting right now. You're getting a green dot on the 2-week, which, this would be the case maybe to come up a little bit, but this could easily, this may not even confirm the 10 days and come down. Also, if you look at the 3-week here, you do have a trend reversal in the 3 weeks, similar to over here. So this could be something like, this would be the case where, yeah, you're 34, 35K or something, which wouldn't be entirely out of the question. You come up to 35K here in a bit. I know it's a lot of different possibilities, but bear with me. Then a 50% correction from around 34, 35K would be that area. The volatility of Bitcoin, it's not impossible for that to happen. So I'm just, just spitballing here a little bit of the, or, kind of like this, this is kind of where you're home free if we do, start the new bull run, I guess. Just straight up for, this was a long time to be just straight up for. This was, let's see, over a year and a half. With the way things are now and people knocking down Bitcoin and all the, trading and all that, I'd be kind of surprised if we just go straight up like that. I think it's going to be a bit more like kind of this area, in my opinion. But anyway, let's move on to some a little bit of lower time frames right here. So on our 3-day or 3-day time frame, actually, I want to just show you guys the 6-day time frame first. So 6-day, you got the trigger wave. Gapped RSIs are now coming back up. Hard to really know what to make of this. You could see the trigger wave, and you could, kind of see trigger wave and money flow crossover, super bullish, but then gapped RSIs would kind of want to bring you down farther. This could even be, this could be a jump even. This could be, I'm not really seeing us going to 37 or 38, but this could be, maybe that would be the case for that, to kind of see that for a bullish next couple of weeks or something. Who knows here? A little bit. It's an interesting market right now, definitely an interesting market. And then your VWAP starting to kind of come down here on your 2-day. RSI is getting high. A lot of this move could have been done, and then you have the trend reversal on the 2-day right here printing. They don't always get it right, but the last 2 times are pretty good in terms of, aside from that one, these 2 times are pretty good for big drops down. If you were to do something like that, something like that, that's down to 22 by the end of July. What I can say is there's going to be probably a lot more. We're going to get used to some volatility because I think there's going to be a lot of volatility in the later half of this year. Now until the end of the year at least, there's going to be a lot of volatility. 16-hour coming off the money flow. VWAP been above the zero line, coming down. That's indicative of more consolidation sideways. We moved up, had a big move. Typically, you would jump around. You broke above this volume area high. I always like to do kind of my own, technical target. When you break above the volume area high, you map it from the volume area low to the volume area high. Right here, 31.4 could be a significant place where we may see a top. You see that jump up. Maybe that would be a place to look to short when you get into the green there. If that ends up being the top. Also, what I would be looking at here, like on the 4-hour, money flow starting to kind of come back up a little bit. Here's what we may see in the 4-hour. Money flow comes up, then it starts to come down. You get kind of a bearish div. You get a bearish div here, and this is what price does over maybe into next couple days, into the weekend, and then you top out around there. That's a big possibility. A lot of times in the 4-hour, money flow starts coming out and you get the bearish div. That'll give you at least a local top. As of right now, it kind of looks like you may be, breaking out of this. I don't know if you call this a bull pennant, maybe. You could zoom in a little bit more and see, yeah, some type of triangle, bull pennant or whatever. Yeah, I think that it would be a bull pennant, double bottom. And then right here, 30.9, around that area to kind of come up a little bit higher towards. And lower time frames potentially. Not showing any major signs that we're topping out just yet. Maybe the hourly will come up, give us a bearish div hitting here. But yeah, this is a wild. You could definitely get up a bit higher here. Let's move on to Ethereum a little bit. And Ethereum's hitting a volume area high right now. And what's interesting here is, I'm not going to go through all of it in as much detail as I did Bitcoin, but you had that double top there. That could be the top. That could absolutely be a top. And I just wanted to see too quickly on the weekly. Yeah, the RSI is coming out. Money flow and VWAP looking pretty bullish, which is very interesting right now. And this is coming down right there. This didn't have as much of a jump up as be interesting because you see that jump up there. Imagine if we're kind of here, almost in this pattern. It looks like we're right there, but I would say that trajectory kind of downward we could see for ETH potentially, something like that. If the bearish, if the bearish case does play out here. 3-day green dot. Looks like with those RSIs, you may have some more room to go here. Daily is where it gets interesting because when this comes down, you may get a trigger wave to the downside, may come back into the red and really have this, curvature with the money flow coming out on the green, bringing us down. Trend reversal sign as well, blue triangle, that came down. That one was bullish, obviously not always going to work, but I would say a lot of these do. Here, down, down. That one was generally down, came up a little bit higher. So a lot of these do give you what you need. So keep that in mind. 10-hour coming down with the VWAP while money flow is coming up, more indicative bit of consolidation sideways. 5-hour, same deal. Money flow coming up while VWAP coming down. Money flow coming up definitely would be the case to come up higher. If we do, this is interesting. So if we do, we broke above, or we're testing the volume area high. We don't even know. Who knows? That could even be the high. Anything could happen. Right here, 20.275, and the next one, 21.79. That's going to be a significant place. And then bear div potentially right there on the 2-hour forming bear div. Money flow still is kind of, if you really zoom in here, money flow is still up on the hourly. So wouldn't be going short just yet. I kind of burned myself on the hot table there was a different kind of short step earlier that I got stopped out of on ETH. I was shorting based off of here, trigger wave, money flow coming out. Got stopped out. I wasn't able to hit my first take profit. That's part of the game. I made a nice killing on the Bitcoin long up and then added to it risk free. Took a lot of that out. So, it's more about risk management. You're not going to win, every single trade, but getting over time with good risk management and having some good strategies, you will do well. It's just that fear and greed, especially the greed part and the lack of patience will mess you up a lot of times. So keep that in mind. right here, I mean, you do have money flow is not really coming out yet on the 30. So that could be a good kind of short setup just based on that volume area high. I don't know if I personally would take it, but it does kind of seem like we're getting to that point and you're getting all these like bearish divs here, even though money flow is not coming out too much really. It is tempting to try to give that short a shot. However, it's getting late right now. It's 10 p.m., Eastern time. May take another look at it around New York Open tomorrow and see how we are right there. Wait till at least some of these confirm though. This could be, some trade like, if you're trying to scalp downward, I mean, 1905, I think that's a decent bet to hit that point before this point. I'm personally not at it. I just don't feel like entering a trade right now. Little iffy, especially, money flow's not coming out yet, but it would be, some may say 100%, it's a trade you should take. But yeah. And if we move on to ETH versus Bitcoin, this is like, you wouldn't even think this is happening just because, everything's coming up, but look at how much ETH is just bleeding against Bitcoin here, just going like straight down. I think you're going to get, especially when we do see a pullback, especially if, 31, 32 ends up, being the top, the local top here. I mean, that could even be the top for the year. We don't know. This is going to keep, bleeding against Bitcoin. And if you break down from this channel, you got a technical target down here. I'm not saying we're going to go this low, ETH versus Bitcoin, but, 40% down, you could easily kind of see those trajectories downward. See this area right here could be significant. I mean, we saw how much it bled against Bitcoin this time. We haven't seen anything. I'm thinking a much smaller version of that, which would still be, 0.04 or something. Keep that in mind. Double blood diamonds definitely doesn't look good. So, Bitcoin's been outperforming ETH and a lot of the altcoins by a lot, over 30%, outperforming Bitcoin 30%. So, I've been buying a lot of Bitcoin, DCing into Bitcoin instead of ETH for many, many months now, and I have 30% more. If I was to convert it all to ETH, I would have 30% more ETH. So it's a good thing to keep in mind. If we wanted to look at just some like altcoins that obviously getting a jump up for AVAX a little bit, money flow was kind of headed up on the three day here, like I was looking at. Do you have a pretty large bullish div there? I still think these, as long as Bitcoin dominance keeps rising, these will continue to bleed against Bitcoin. Could be that trajectory. Look at these gap to RSIs. I'm thinking you're going to come down farther here. You're going to get a bullish div from back here. That could potentially mark a bottom, sure. I would be waiting a few more months to see bullish div from there. The next, not this green dot, but the next one in September. That's where it's looking like would be the time to really get in. Bitcoin dominance, which is interesting right now. I want to talk about this for a second. I mean, I do think it's at least going to get up to this point, 56%. Bitcoin dominance, excluding stablecoins, probably is going to at least get up to 60%. I think it's close to there right now. I'd have to look at it. But look, no signs of stopping on the weekly. I think in the short term, you may see a bit of a pullback off of this point. Maybe some money could flow into altcoins over the next week or two if Bitcoin stays more sideways and we see like some alts rally. I wouldn't say altcoin season, but you see some alts rally. But I think after, so that's normally the pattern. If that does happen, you see the pump, it's a Bitcoin-led pump. And then as Bitcoin goes more sideways, the altcoins, money goes into the altcoins and they pump a bit. And then what happens after that, everything dumps and then Bitcoin kind of, Bitcoin dominance rises. So after that happens, we may see Bitcoin dominance rise to, generally these areas right here, 56% maybe in October, could be sooner, next couple months here. But whenever we do see that pullback, we're seeing it now, even without the pullback, we're seeing Bitcoin dominance shoot up. So yeah, pretty wild how this is. Many doubted us breaking up out of here, but we did it. So yeah. And the last thing I'll talk about for a second, UST, I haven't looked at, Tether dominance. Keep in mind, there could be more regulatory FUD with like stablecoins. I think there's a bill that, there's going to be more regulation with stablecoins. SEC could start to come after them a bit more too. So this is what we got to keep an eye on. No signs are really stopping just yet on the 2-week until this kind of comes down. We get the trigger wave and that could potentially bring us down. But it looks like you got a little bit more to go with tether dominance. And I think once we get the next pullback from crypto as a whole, this will come up higher. I think you could get up to here, 11% potentially towards the next few months, towards the end of the year. And that would be, once you get up to that place, that's like kind of prime time to get into all coins. But for now, I still think, with Bitcoin dominance coming up, with ETH Bitcoin looking the way it is, I mean, if you want to buy ETH or alts, just store it in Bitcoin for now. Not financial advice, obviously, but that's what I'm doing for now, and it's worked out very, very well. So anyway, guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hope you have a great day, and check out the Discord down below. If you guys are interested in trading, if you're experienced traders, there is a trading competition I negotiated for you guys with MEXC, only with my link, discount down below. FAIRDESK is also a good exchange. You don't need to use a VPN or KYC. With FAIRDESK, they do some really good bonuses and giveaways as well. So check both of those guys out. All right, guys, have a good one. Goodbye.